Okay, so now we're going to go over simple invoices. Now this one has become sort of the hidden gem of Allmoxy setups. For some reason, it took us a really long time to figure this one out, but once we did, it's been awesome. Now, I've mentioned this in other courses, but in this one, we're going to go a lot more in depth, and we're actually going to put some things into play. Okay, so we created a little document for you below to follow along. So from a very top level, zoomed out perspective, simple invoices are a way to break up what is a huge undertaking into smaller steps, and it uses sound psychology principles for both your customers and your employees in order to take something that's completely overwhelming and break it up into something that's completely doable. So rather than focusing on getting your giant customized catalog up and running in Allmoxy as a first step, we take the stance of using your current order system, something that your customers and employees are already used to, get them to interact with your brand online, something they're already familiar with, and step them one step at a time towards full integration, full automation, and taking full advantage of all the features of Allmoxy. So if you've gone through the tutorials in order up to this point, you're ready for simple invoices. Go through the 4 steps in order, and then I'll walk you through implementing this. So in the very first step, your employees input a simple order. And really all this means is that you're taking the invoice, the fax, whatever it is that you use now for orders, you'll take that and you'll put it in the system with basically a description, a price, and whatever basic information you need to track that, and you'll save it just like that. There are a few reasons why we start so simple. We don't want to overwhelm your customers or employees, so we've got to start small. This gives your employees the chance to learn the system before your customers really do much with it. All the customer does is logs in and sees their dashboard, and it gives the customer a quicker tool to do what they're already used to doing. So there's really no learning on the customer part, and therefore quick adoption. Once you do that with a few invoices, over the course of maybe a couple weeks, let's say, you can then turn this on for your customers to be able to do this for you. So what they'll do is they will be the ones that initiate the job. They won't fax it in anymore. They'll actually just upload it, scan it, whatever they want to do. Simple invoices are simple invoices, and whether you input them or your customer does, it's kind of the same. Some companies want to do all of this internally, and some companies want to make sure their customers are doing it as early as possible. I would suggest getting the customer to do it as early as possible though. And during this phase, a few things start to happen. The very first thing is that the customer starts to learn that they can order at their own convenience. They also learn how self-service works. They see the speed and value of doing everything themselves. Of course, what that means to you is that you don't have to pay your people as much to answer customer questions or take orders. The customers are doing that for you. Your phone calls will start to go down. And it's also in this step when your customers start beginning to hype themselves up for the next step of online ordering, which is really important. They'll catch on to the idea that they can do simple orders themselves and begin to want more. And it's at this point that you and the Allmoxy team are building your catalog in all its detail and starting to put up some teasers in the site, say, that tell the customer that things are coming soon. This anticipation and waiting time is actually really important. After that period and after your catalog is actually finished and ready to publish, then we launch full online ordering. And at this point, the customer discovers your products. They can see that on their site, they can just start choosing and customizing orders. And believe me, they'll just start doing it. We tend to get a lot better customer adoption rates when the customer feels like they are the ones that found it. It's their idea. I'm not saying you can't force your customers. I did. I made them all go cold turkey right into online. But if you're at all nervous about customer adoption, what they'll say, if they'll do it, this is the way for you. So by the time your customers are filling out more complex orders, they've already had training. They already realize how to work the other parts of the order system. So you're not dumping it all on them all at once. Once online ordering is consistent, then you can move on to advanced ordering, things like importing, auto ordering, and business-to-business communications. It's our goal to take you as far as you want to go down that journey. The more automated, the better. But believe me, it's very important that you start small, have successes early on, and build from there. You have to walk before you can run. Okay, so now let's actually go into the system and start applying some things. Okay, so I'm just logged in here on the demo site. Obviously, your site won't look exactly like this at this point, but that's okay, you'll get the picture. So let's go over here to create new order. Now, like I said, your instance will look a little different. Probably won't have all of this, but it will most likely come with a product called Simple Invoice. If it doesn't, let us know, we can help you build one. Since we really haven't gone over yet how to build products, you may need a little bit of help even with a simple product at this point. So most likely what your site would look like would be just this product here, very top. And all of this either gone, kind of grayed out and says coming soon. So this is what I'm talking about. Rather than build a complex product with all kinds of settings and everything that entails, we're just going to do a simple product. So we'll get here, but first we're going to start with just this. Okay, so all it is you give it a quantity. If you want to match it up with, for instance, a job name that they gave you, or maybe a QuickBooks invoice, or an internal system that already generates a number. So you just give it a number. You can give it a description if you'd like, and then a price. You just click on the price, put a number in, and click out of the box. Go ahead and fill out the order name, select who it's for, and a contact will pop up. Again, we've already put in companies and company contacts in previous steps. Give it a description or anything we missed. There won't be a requested date because this order did not come in online. If it did, then the customer would have been given a date to choose. Give it a date for when it will ship. Make sure the billing information is correct. Same with shipping. And once everything's right, go ahead and scroll up to the status and set it to ordered, and then go ahead and save changes. Now, if you've left anything out, the system will tell you. And again, this is why we're doing this simple the first time. We forgot a billing name and a shipping name. Okay, so the order's saved. Now notice after you save the order, you can upload attachments. So at this point, it might be a good idea to attach any drawings, invoices, or pages from another ordering system if it will help the customer understand what they're looking at. This is an optional step, but it's a good idea. Okay, so now this order is ready for whoever in your company is verifying orders. So it has an ordered status, but now needs to be verified. So if I come up here to the status, I look it over, it looks great, go to verified and save it. Now remember, something very important is happening as we move these orders through their different statuses. The trigger system is automatically kicking off emails and starting to automate things. So your guy in the shop is going to operate from a report located in the report section. He'll choose a production line, and you'll see the order ready to go. Now I can click on it or just hit start. So since we're doing simple orders, there's really nothing to be done right now. But if you look at the order, it's automatically progressed to in progress, which again could have fired triggers to employees or customers. So you can put that job in the shop just like I showed you, or you can just do it simply by doing in progress, just changing it in the list. In the same manner, you can move this right from in progress to completed to on hold, shipped, and void, just manually. I would just do it manually the first few jobs you do, but part of what you want to accomplish during this phase is to start training your employees. So at that point, a few questions start to come up. Well, does my guy need a computer by his machine? And that's just one of the 100 reasons we do it this way. I'm not going to mention all the things you'll learn or all the adjustments you're going to make during this phase. Trust me, there's a method to this madness. So again, you can either just go right to shipped and do it from here, or you can start to train your shipping guy by using the shipping report. Now you'll notice that this one shows that items are not marked completed. And don't worry about that quite yet. That's an advanced function that we will get to eventually. And it's much more important when there are lots of complex, customizable products in an order. What is important though, is that you can go ahead and click Ship Order, and it marks it as shipped, which, as you know by now, has triggered other events to happen. So this order has flowed through the shop and your office, and is now a legitimate order that can be paid for, and looked up, and referenced. So go ahead, get some orders in the system and start to progress them through. Do this for about a week and let us know what questions you have. Once you've got a good handle on this, it's time to start building your catalog.